All right, peace and blessings, namaste. Now that we've gotten all of the chatter away, let's go over whistleblowing 101. A lot of you are in situations with organizations whereby you believe that that organization is still your friend after you decide to divulge its secrets to the world. The first thing you need to understand is that's not the trait. That's not the case at all. The case is they understand you to be the nemesis, the problem. They're having conversations and recordings about you and the scenario every day with their legal team to see what they can do from a legal perspective to mitigate, close, or otherwise remove that vulnerability. A lot of you are in situations whereby you do have a lawsuit and you don't know how the legal game works when it comes to setting a legal trap or getting out of a legal trap. Number one, when you have a workman's comp situation or a whistleblowing situation, or you want to inform about things, malfeasances in an organization, the first thing you need to do is go to the EEOC. The EEOC is the EEOC. You can find that in any city. Speak to the EEOC and communicate in verbosity the totality of the scenario that you've experienced and make sure that you get a copy of the report. The EEOC is going to be the legal entity that works for the United States government that's going to give you the most advantageous position and instructions to mitigate the scenario before they take it to a legal counsel. 90% of all of the lawyers in the towns that you work for from a business perspective are already on retainer with organizations, especially large organizations. So before you walk into a legal counsel's office and express everything you're going through, you need to understand that you need to sign and ensure that you sign some form of legal retainer, because a legal officer is not going to let you know up front, hey, we have a relationship with them. They're going to let you talk. They're going to let you communicate. They're going to let you speak. And at the end, once you've told them everything, then they're going to say, oh, we can't take the case. Now, these are just a few of the things that we talk about on our course that we have inside of school. Obviously, everything that we do here is to guide you and navigate you into a situation where you join our tribe. Nothing's free. Nothing at all is free. Does anybody want to get on stage and ask a specific question before we close out this session? This was just a teaser. You have a wonderful day, tribe. Namaste. Anybody want to get on stage and ask a question? Of course, it's a very technical situation. I wanted to give everybody the opportunity to at least get an understanding of how treachery works when it comes to these organizations. But if you don't want to get on stage and ask any questions, that's perfectly fine. Does anybody have a question about how to whistleblow, how to ensure that you're going to win your case if you have any kind of workman's comp situation? Is anybody? All right. Looks like there is no questions today. So nobody wants to get rich. That's weird. Nobody has any questions about that. All right. So let's unpack a few things, a few more things. Here we go. So I like to have conversations to understand what people's questions are, what their ignorant points are, what are their ignorance points of ignorance, points of confusion. Most of the lawyers that you engage in a town when you're filing any kind of complaint automatically have a retainer with that organization. So we rather talk about security than make the money. I'm just understanding how people work, that's all. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Nobody wants to get on stage. Interesting. I know there's a lag, so what we're going to do is give it a few seconds, and we'll go from there. Now, if you are whistleblowing and you're feeling like you're being gang stalked, if you're having a situation where you're feeling like you're being gang stalked, I want to let you know that is an entire package. Those cost about $15,000 for an organization to hire a group of people to gang stalk you. It's a real thing. So the reason why they do gang stalking, the reason why they send people to watch you, the reason why they tap your phones, the reason why they get inside of your emails, the reason why they break inside of your children's accounts and they do all the things that you think people wouldn't do is because they want you to feel crazy. And if you don't think for a second that they have relationships with local law enforcement and the sheriffs, of course they do. Absolutely. So does anybody have any questions now that we've said the things that are more engaging? Interesting. All right, Rudy. I'll do a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. How do you get paid? I usually don't answer questions without a please or a thank you, but let's go ahead and do it. How do you get paid? You know how to sue. You got to learn how to ask for the right number, and you have to know what number is going to get you the numbers that are going to be advantageous for moving outside of a settlement in court. So, how do you do that? You want to get on stage and ask that question? Does anybody want to get on stage and ask these questions? Because a lot of you just asking behind profile pictures, and I'd rather engage with people. So, does anybody want to get on stage? Now I'm gonna stay holistic. Okay, nice to see you, brother. Sending you some love and peace. So we're gonna open up the session for the floor to anybody have conversations. They want to talk. They want to understand how to sue, how to whistleblow, how to make money from the whistleblowing. This is what we do. This is how I make people rich. I've made a lot of people rich this way. I've also saved a lot of companies from brand damage and reputation impacts. A lot of you don't know how treacherous the devil is when it wants to keep itself alive. So I understand that. Namaste, brother. All right. So it looks like nobody wants to get on stage. So that's perfectly fine. Some topics are not for everybody. I understand that now. All right. Media.